The Bite of 83 is the most iconic event in the FNAF franchise, so much so that it even has merch based on it. Even people who don't know much about FNAF would know it just based on the sadly incorrect "Was that the Bite of 87?" meme. Though with what limited knowledge we have, would you call this event a Springlock failure? Most people would say yes, but personally, this is the farthest you can get from a Springlock failure. Why? Well, this quick video will tell you why. So let's set the stage from what we know about the Springlocks. According to Phone Guy in FNAF 3, Springlocks are part of the Springlock suits, which allows an animatronic to double as both an animatronic and suit. When the Springlocks are active, they pull back all the mechanical parts to the side of the suit to allow the performer to wear it and use it to entertain kids without using another costume which will look different from the animatronics on stage. The only downside from this revolutionary tech is that if you put the Springlocks on hastily, or you heavily breathe or nudge the locks while setting them up, it can cause a Springlock failure. A Springlock failure is an incident shown a couple times in the franchise, where all those mechanical parts you just pushed to the sides of the suit are quickly released from their Springlocks as the suit returns to its animatronic mode, causing the body to be crushed and mashed into the parts of the suit and endo, in which the aftermath will look like something like this, or similar to this. Though, is this a Springlock failure with everything I just listed? Well, let's compare a Springlock failure to all the details of the Bite of 83. Let's look at the evidence of how it could be a Springlock failure. First, we definitely know that Fredbear is a Springlock animatronic, as in Night 2's minigame, we see a similar suit with Worker inside. Plus it makes sense as Fredbear's partner animatronic is Spring Bonnie, who definitely is a Springlock suit. It's the reason why it's classified as Spring Bonnie. There's also the fact that Crying Child's frantic movement as his tears would loosen the Springlocks to the point where they would fail and crush him. I mean, the old suit of Spring Bonnie in FNAF 3 failed just because of William laughing and being somewhat wet. However, that's really all the evidence you can get for it being a Springlock failure, as there's one massive counter that needs to be pointed out. And that's the fact that Fredbear is in animatronic mode, meaning the locks aren't even active at this point. The animatronic parts are in place. There's no Springlocks in place to cause a failure. Not only that, but it's more likely the bite was caused because Crying Child's head was stopping the motors from going up and down. So more and more pressure built up until chomp. The reason this is important is that it explains why the Springlock suits weren't locked away after this point, as it wouldn't be the Springlock's fault, thus allowing them to have continued use up until either the MCI or William's death. The events shown in FNAF 4 is the fault of the mechanisms inside Fredbear's jaws, which had more force in them than necessary for a simple singing cycle the animatronic were programmed to do. This is not, and never was, a Springlock failure. So with that out of the way, you now know what is and isn't a Springlock failure thanks to this quick video on the Bite of 83. If you enjoyed it, please like and share this video around. I plan on doing more quick videos like this in between some projects to give myself more time. Speaking of, if you enjoyed this video, why not check out the video on screen now to see more information about the first trilogy of the series and what you need to know about it. Subscribe if you like, I hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you in the next premiere.